Hello lovelies! Welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going to be doing the embroidery for my 18th century Sarah Sanderson costume. So I have digitized this embroidery live over on Patreon. I do live digitizings right now every month. I won't be doing that every month though in the future, so just keep that in mind. I do a live stream every month though over on patreon.com/CaseyReneeCosplay, which is my members only website that helps support this channel. Today we are just going to go over a brief little bit of the steps of the digitizing, nothing too crazy because I've done a lot of digitizing on this channel, and then we're going to jump into the process of actually stitching this out and picking and choosing what embroidery files are going where. So without further ado, let's just get into this. Okay, so I'm using the auto digitizing wizard, and I already have the file pulled up. It is a PNG, so it's a transparent file. So there's like no back to it, and we are gonna keep it in the size that it is, that I downloaded it in, and now I don't want it to stitch out any of the white, so we just want the green. So now we're gonna go to edit image, and if you really want, I guess, like if you wanted to draw stuff and whatnot, you could. I guess I don't want these dots. I don't know if you see these dots here. Let's see if we can erase them. Okay, oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so we're gonna just erase all these little dots hanging out. And then we're gonna, I guess, like file and save it. Okay, so now we're gonna just go file and save. And then we're gonna exit and look, oh, look at that. Okay, so the image doesn't have the dots anymore. That's actually perfect. Okay, so that's that. Let's go next. Okay, that's what we want. So let's go next again. I want to minimize jump stitches because I have a 7-needle embroidery machine, so the color change isn't like a big deal to me, but also it's all the same color. So minimizing jump stitches means that it's going to automatically digitize in run stitches, which you will have to pull out later, unfortunately, but it's not a big deal. So basically what I did was edit each of the leaf groupings so that the spiral piece was separate from the leaf, so that the spiral could be a fill stitch and so that the leaves would actually be satin stitches. This basically gives the two pieces different texture, and the satin stitch leaves I can change the direction to for each leaf. To do this, I manually separate each leaf, and once I got a leaf I really liked, I ended up just copying it and then pasting it in the place of all the other leaves on the design. Then all I had to do for that space was delete the stitches for the leaf that was connected to the spiral. This took me about 30 to 45 minutes to do. And then I had to go in and plan the order in which the design would stitch out. That requires going into each design and figuring out where the stitches start and where they stop, and moving those start-stop points for each basically grouping, and set them so that when one starts and then it stops, it will stop pretty close to the next starting point. This will help me minimize the amount of jump stitches there are, and that helps the process of cleaning up the design in the very end. Both of these files are available to download on Patreon in the video tier for the entire month of October 2021, if you would like them. Now let's move on to the flower design. For the flower, I used a flower template that is built into Floriani Total Control U software, and then I used the Create Shape tool to create a circle that will fit into the center of that flower. From there, I knew I wanted the circle to be a fill motif, and I actually knew exactly which fill motif I wanted, so I just went ahead and chose those options, and I played a little bit with the density of the stitch until it looked the way that I wanted it. Now, to make the petals, I drew stitches over the background art of this flower, and I created the shape of the petal, and then I added it into a satin stitch, which is where I basically decided, okay, this is how I want all the petals to look, and I copy and I pasted them to go all the way around the flower. And then the final thing to do was, once again, double check the order in which things stitch out in so that there could be no jump stitches. To prep for embroidery, I had to draw each piece of my pattern onto my fabric and cut it out, making sure it was larger than the hoop size. Then I fused Dreamweave Fusible to each piece following the instructions on the pattern. To hoop my piece, I placed a piece of Quilters Select Tearaway Stabilizer, followed by my fabric into my largest hoop, and then I closed it up, making sure that it was extremely tight. Okay, so real quick, for the pieces that are a little bit skinnier, I'm actually just going to do embroidery, or like the main embroidery file, this one, onto 2 of them. And then I'm going to place the flowers, the flower embroidery, around onto the piece on its own because I have a separate hoop for that. I'll show you. So I have this hoop, which is way smaller, that I will use to place flowers in some of these smaller areas on the skinny pieces. So I have this one, this is the back piece, and this is the side piece. So I've just drawn them on to one piece of fabric so I can hoop it. A big reason also why I'm doing it this way is because I only had 1 yard of this silk. So I literally like only have enough for these pieces. I can't just like cut a piece out or draw a piece and create a lot of space around it. And that'll also help kind of break up this design and make it look a little bit like how hers does, where it looks like the fabric had a design in it. So yeah. Also for the sleeves, this is the second sleeve. I just finished this one up. I did want to make them different. So for the other sleeve, it only has a pink flower and it's like way up here or something. And then this one I moved here and have a purple here. I'm going to do the same with these pieces. So they're not going to be identical, and that's going to be purposeful because that's kind of how her costume looks. So I'm going to go get this embroidered, and then I guess I can show you hooping this and setting up the flower. Okay, so now with the same exact stabilizer that I used for this piece, I'm going to add a couple flowers. So to do that, I'm going to use my little tiny hoop here. And I know I want one like kind of near the bottom of this, like up here. So we're going to do one here. And then I'm probably going to do one near the top back up here. And I think I'm going to make them both pink. I like the pink just a little bit better, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to use the purple. I'll probably just do fewer of the purple. So once again, just getting this all as tight as possible, and then I can take it on over to my machine. So as one normally does when they are embroidering, I kind of got wrapped up into what my machine was doing, so I didn't really get to explain to you or show you the final outcome of some of these. So this is our center back piece that you can see right here. And what I did was I just added a few droplets of fray check on our embroidery just to keep it from, you know, fraying beyond a certain point until the next day when I'm going to be sewing these together. And I also made sure that the fray check didn't bleed out too much. Like I'm gonna have a 1/2 inch seam on this, so it shouldn't be seen. This is also our like side seam or side panel pieces, which will like get attached here. So I tried really hard to just kind of make it look like this was at one point a a textile. And, you know, it's not perfect. I thought of a second way that I could do this if I ever were to do something like this again. But basically, here's the front one. And I know with the front piece, this is the side that's going to go underneath this side, I think. Now I'm not sure, but whatever. We're just going to go with it. So a second way that I think I could have done this was gone through with my 1 yard of fabric and just embroidered this motif literally everywhere. Like basically decided, okay, I'm going to go every like I'm going to get decide exactly how close or far together I wanted it. Did I want it to overlap? And then do all of it, like embroider all of that 1 yard of fabric. That would have probably taken me 2 to 3 days to do. And then I could have cut the pieces out and gone in and done the flowers. But this is the way that I decided to do it, and I'm pretty happy with it. I someday would like to try something similar to this again, but I have no clue what costume I would do it on. So maybe that'll be something I do in the future. But now we are done with the embroidery on this, and I think it is time to say goodbye. I will be back next Wednesday with a video on constructing this bodice. If you would like to help fund the Glinda material purchase, I do have a Ko-fi link, as well as on my Patreon. Everyone there is helping fund that gown as well. And I will see you in the next video. May all your dreams come true.